like emojis floating to the top of your screen. These are the best of my lives on Facebook. My lives on Facebook.
Big exciting news in Beyond Obedience front. I have internet. What? Yes. Hey, everybody. It's Tracy here from Beyond Obedience, and I'm coming at you live from the trail with a different group. Actually, I lost 2 out of 3 of my dogs. They'll come back eventually. I wanted to introduce you to this fine fellow, Levi. It's like, no, it's gotta go pee. It's like, don't bother me, man. Leaves. Levi, don't be rude. Come say hi. Come say hi. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. Hi. There he is. I wanted to take this opportunity to introduce you to this guy. This is Levi. And Levi's a pretty special guy for a lot of reasons. And I wanted to just tell you a little bit of the story of Levi and how Levi ended up in my life. I got a frantic phone call from a rescue saying that I take this dog. He was incredibly fearful of people, and they had gotten him at least settled down with one foster family because they were literally out in the middle of nowhere and they didn't see any other people, and he did quite well there. I gotta get him back. There he is. There he is. And but he was terrified of people, and they just couldn't. She had to go away. She had an emergency. They had no other place to put him, and could I take him? So I agreed, of course, and he showed up, and they weren't kidding. He was terrified of everything. He came to my property wearing 2 harnesses, 3 leashes, because they were terrified that if he got off of his leash, he would not come back. And it was a very interesting, I think I got to spend 10 days with him. It was a very interesting 10 days because I couldn't even touch him. I couldn't come anywhere near him. He was so terrified of people that once I got him in the run, he ran to the back of the run. He didn't come out. He cowered in the corner. If I opened the door, he would cower with his paw up. If I came closer, he would get snappy. We had to slide his food under the door. Oh my gosh. If you tried to give him food, like if you tried to put your hand out and offer that dog food, he would like run. Like he was like, nope, I've been fooled by that before. That's not going to happen. So, just a really, 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 really scared guy. And the only saving grace for his experience with me for those 10 days was that he loved dogs, right? So he hated people, but he loved dogs. Zoolander, pose. Sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm going to just flip my camera around just because I have to tell you. If you guys have been following my Wow Your Walk stuff and I talk about doing fun environmental agility with my dogs, they love it so much that now they pose on anything. He will pose on anything he can find. He's like, look at me and striking a pose. He loves it. Okay, you're awesome. Sorry. So anyway, getting back to Levi, he loved other dogs. So we would take Rue, our Australian Shepherd. We paired him with Rue. We would let him out with the group. And if you saw him with the other dogs, you'd never know. You would be like, oh, he's fine. He's running around. He was playing. He was having a great time. But the moment we asked him to come in because we were standing there, he was like, nope, not happening. I knew because he was enjoying the other dogs so much. And I knew I could bridge that. I could bridge his experience with the dogs with me, that I asked the rescue if I could, have him for 2 weeks. After the 2 weeks, I was like, he's doing really well, but I would really like more time with him. Because when you're dealing with a fearful dog, you can't put time limits on that. Like, you can't be like, I'm going to be able to do this in 2 weeks. The moment that you express a timeline and we put our pressures on it, you wreck it. So I basically was like, how about this? I'll just foster him, and he can stay here with us. So that's what we did. We kept him for quite a while. And we used to always have this thing, because he was so good with other dogs, he'd go on all the pack walks. So when people would come, we exposed him to people. But I made sure that every single person that came for our pack walks, I'd say, look at, there's a little black lab mix that's going to come out here. His name is Levi. He does not like people. So do not touch him. Don't look at him. Don't tell him he's cute. Just leave him alone. And I was like really adamant about it. I said to them, like, oh my, seriously, if you betray the trust of this dog, you'll get kicked out of this pack walk. Don't touch him. He came on all the pack walks, so he got exposed to lots of different dogs and lots of different people during that time. And then one day I have a pack walk. I have a pack walk. I've got everybody meeting in the arena. I give the spiel. We called it the Levi spiel. I'm like, there's a little black lab mix going to come out. Don't touch him. Don't talk to him. I come into the arena and there's this wonderful woman. She's standing there and she's looking up and she's like, Tracy. And I was like, yes. And she's like, is this the black dog that I'm not supposed to look at? And I look down and there's Levi sitting in front of her, just wagging his tail. Like he's like, hey, how are you? She's like, I'm trying really hard not to look at him, but he seems like he wants me to. And I remember thinking to myself, well, that's odd. Levi's better now. When did that happen? And it was true. Levi was, it's seemingly all of a sudden better. It obviously wasn't all of the sudden. It happened over time. It happened with the pattern of predictability that we created with him. It happened because Levi knew without a shadow of a doubt that I was going to advocate for him no matter what. Right? That when I had people over, I told him not to touch them. And he just got used to the fact that people now weren't going to invade his space. They weren't going to come up. Hello, handsome. They weren't going to come up into his space unless, that's inappropriate behavior, unless he instigated it. And all of a sudden, his confidence just started to grow and grow and grow. And then he became this really, really nice guy. That's what I mean to say. You'd never know it now to meet him. If you were to come and meet him now, you'd never know, right? You would be like, oh, I didn't realize that dog was ever fearful. Because he's happy and he's joyful. And he literally is the dog I know was in there when I met him. And I think that's what it comes down to. There was something about this little dog when I first met him. I'm like, inside this terrified shell of a dog is this brilliantly adorable, energetic, lovely, joyful dog. And now we have him. The way that I got him was that at some point in the process, the rescue was so pleased with seeing all of the videos and the pictures of him with people and walking and whatnot. They wanted to take him to an Adopt Me event. And he did not do well. Of course, he got into an Adopt Me event and he reverted right back to hiding under a table and being snappy. So they were quite discouraged by that. And they called me up the one day and they were like, I don't know how we're going to find him his forever home. He does well with you, but I don't see how he can manage on his own. And I think I had been drinking wine that day. Like, pretty sure I was on my deck. I might have had wine or a couple of coolers or something. Anyway, there could have been wine involved when I was just like, you know what? I'll just keep them. What's one more dog? Now you guys know how I ended up with 18 dogs. What's one more dog? He does so well here. And he did. That was the thing. He loves my son, Connor. He just loves my son. Because my son, Connor, comes out here. And my son wows his walk, right? Like, he wows his walk. My son comes out with the dogs and he creates these grand adventures with them. And Levi just thinks he is the most amazing kid ever now. Like, he's so much fun. Anyway, so that's the story of Levi, how he came into my life. And also how, with his help, and the work that I did with natural horsemanship, my experience with natural horsemanship also helped me formulate the fearful dog. So if you have a less than confident dog that is struggling, and you want to learn what we did to naturally, and I say naturally, create a more confident dog, You can find that in The Fearful Dog. It's a 3-part mini series that I did where I talk about all these concepts of how dogs process fear naturally, approach and retreat concepts, fear thresholds, all of that stuff. The things that we did naturally. We didn't train him. We didn't use food. We didn't we didn't do anything like, like a lot of feeding and changing his emotional status to a fearful stimulus with food drive. Not that that doesn't work. I'm not saying that doesn't work. I'm just saying we did it naturally. And now I have a dog that loves hanging out with me. Look at those two. Fearful dog. To really get an understanding of what's going on in your dog's mind, right? That's what it comes down to. Most people with good intentions sort of rush the natural fear cycle. And in this program, I show you how to not do that. And also how to know when you should step in and when you shouldn't step in, which is what I think a lot of people struggle with, right? A lot of people wonder, should I let them work it out? Do I let them just get through that? Do I help them? Do I coach them? Do I use food? I answer all those questions in this, this program. These two are nutty. Okay, so if you want more information about that, hit me up. I've got that program now that is available. It's been recorded. I was doing it as a live lecture for people and a hands-on workshop till COVID hit, and now I can't. So, but now it's available for everybody. You can purchase that program, and now you have it. It's lifetime. You can rewind it and play it all